Hey guys, so anyone who doesn't know, I love Chrono Cross. Like, I absolutely, top 5 favorite games of all time. People were like, oh man, it's so inferior compared to Chrono Trigger. But it's a really good fucking game when you give it a chance. The soundtrack is amazing, the characters are amazing, the world is beautiful. Um, but, so, they just came out with the remake, or not remake, the remaster. Um, some cool things they added was able to toggle encounters on. So if you're, running around, there's enemies around. You don't have to fight them if you don't want. Normally, I just go around them, but sometimes that's not an option. Sometimes there's just too many enemies on the screen, and the path you're running is just too narrow. So being able to toggle that on and off um, is pretty good. They can also, I don't know if there's also like the kind of like the New Game Plus kind of option where you can kind of like speed things up. So instead of just walking like this, you press the button, you're like, I don't know if that's a, general thing in there, or I know with New Game Plus, you can pretty much go back and play the game again, except you kind of like have all your stuff still, and you can speed things up. But I think maybe they just like mainlined that whole speed things up into the game itself. So when you get to New Game Plus, if there is a New Game Plus, um, you've already had the option to press the button. But of course, uh, censorship, because we're not living in the 90s anymore, so or the 2000s, so the early 2000s, so things gotta be censored. Some stupid things, some fine. Like so this one right here, text censorship. So the original, could you like break her in a little, make her act a little more ladylike? Quite frankly, I don't find anything wrong with that. Most people, but oh god, ladylike. Not every woman has to be ladylike. So they made it to, could you like make her be a little nicer to me? But I also like how you see how this one, the original, is like a little darker because they're living on an island. Or not an island, but like a tropical looking type area. So there's sun. They're going to be, when you go around town and you kind of, or the village and you meet people, they're pretty tan. But then they just kind of like, you know, made her white. So there's that. Oh yeah, here's this. Gen Z, the weakest generation because them Rush Hour has to put this before the start of their movies. We all love our 90s buddy comedies, but this movie was created in a different time. FYI, certain depictions, language, and humor may seem outdated and at times offensive. This is on USA. Fucking snowflakes. They just melt. Um, I read the old games. So, like I said, there's stuff like this. It's fucking stupid. The fact that they changed it is beyond stupid. Oh, kid. But then you have ones like for Marcy. Um, so Marcy is, keep in mind, this is a kid. She's 9. She's if I don't remember ever really having Marcy on my team, but fighting her the first time around was annoying as fuck. Harley. Love me some Harley. Harley is a good character to have. She's really fucking strong. Um, was it on this one? It was on one of them. Yeah, here. So we have the original and then the newer one. So here we have Marcy, and then from behind you can, yeah, it's a 9-year-old, but they're presenting her in underwear, panties, but then they changed it, rightfully so. This is one I don't really think many. And I say many because there are those people, but then they just changed it to bloomers. You know, baby bloomers. My little Maka wore bloomers when she was little. Now, whenever I hear someone say something about bloomers, I think of Soul Eater, that little fucking scene with Medusa when she's just like this, when she's a little kid. You know, she takes the body of this little girl, and every time Death picks her up, her bloomer show and Maka's dad's spirit gets all fucking like, oh, little baby bloomers. And she's like, can you stop that? That's creepy. But that is like Death's like, now about this deal of yours. And every time he sees the bloomers, he just like goes stupid. But so she's got bloomers on, which, like I said, rightfully so. There are some people who will be mad because some people are going to look at that like, oh yes. But yeah, if they're 9 years old, they probably shouldn't be having any upskirt shots or anti shots, or I'm just saying. So this is a change I don't think normal people would have an issue with. I know there was some more censorship when it comes to it. And this is like one of those games like I want to play again, but I don't know if you guys want to see it, and if you do, should I pay the $20 for the remaster, or should I just play it on the PS1 emulator? Because pretty much everything you can do apart from the remaster, you can pretty much do that on the PS1 emulator. You know, you can upscale and stuff like that and make it look nice. So the only thing I wouldn't be able to do is avoid battles and speed up everything. But and apparently people say it runs like shit. Like the game's like fucking 20-something years old, and apparently they can't optimize it. People were like, yeah, it's, you know, it's 30 frames, and that's if you're lucky sometimes. I mean, nowadays it's great because you can just push out patches and hot fixes and stuff like that. A lot different back in the day when you had a physical disc and you really couldn't do stuff like that. I mean, if you're able to connect to the internet, you could probably maybe download hot fixes or something like that, I guess. But nowadays, since everything's online, they can just, you know, keep updating the files and this and that, and so. But yeah, I definitely want to play it. I started playing it a while ago on my other computer, but then obviously I got this computer and I have the game. You know, I transferred the game onto my flash drive and all that, you know, USB drive, and but not the save file. So I'd have to start all the way from the beginning again. I was like almost halfway through the first. I was like, yeah, halfway through the first disc, close to the end. So, yes, that's what I said, first disc. Now, it's not like a Final Fantasy where it had like 5, 6 discs. No, it had 2. So, but if that's something you guys want to see, I would love to play Chrono Cross. If you guys want me to spend the money for the, you know, remaster, I guess I could do that. Because even with the emulator, it does still come with problems. So, you know, it has a lot of graphical issues and stuff like that. But like I said, nowadays, because it's on Steam and they can push out hot fixes and patches and stuff like that, you know, being able to optimize and get things better to where it looks nice and plays well, it's a lot easier. So, but I definitely want to play it. I mean, I've been dying to play this game again, but I just felt like no one would really want to watch it. So, but you know, it's just. But they're just panties. I don't care. You promised me the original game, and it never just stopped at panties. Not to mention, even if it was just panties, that's no reason to censor. Yeah, because, you know, Who cares? It's just panties on a 9-year-old girl. Some people, please just. What's this now? People have found censorship in the script too. Can't fucking read that bullshit. There's also altered text they deem sexist, both in Japanese and English. But you have to be confident to an extent, as expected. Yeah. But yeah. Okay, so the top one is what it is now, and the bottom is what it was. Or I don't know, because the top one is, you know. So the top one, but you have to be confident to an extent, as expected. Yeah. And then the bottom, but you have to be confident to an extent, to that extent, as a man. Uh-oh. We're throwing out gender here. Now that Big Brother Surge already put her in her place, you should tell her to act more like a woman. Okay. Now that Big Brother Surge already put her in her place, you should tell her to be nicer. Yeah. So put her in her place. I would love to read this. Mojo. I like Mojo. I mean, he's pretty good black element until you get Guile. And then Guile's really not that great, but he's actually got some pretty strong elemental moves he can do. So, not to mention his wand throw. He's got like the staff. One of them he like crushes it and does that, and he and like poof out of them, and it's really, really cool. Why are you so mad over not being able to see a 9-year-old's underwear? Yeah, diva of the 4 divas. Yeah, her. Yeah, her, Karsh. I think it's Karsh. Her, Zoa. I can't remember the next one. Why don't you have a seat right over there? He's coming for you. He's coming for you. But yeah, if this is something you guys would want to see, I would love to play Chrono Cross. For me, it doesn't really matter which. Like I said, all the remaster look, you can do it in the PS1 emulator, just with the graphics and all that. But like I said, it does miss some of the convenient things, like being able to skip fights and stuff like that. So, but yeah, Chrono Cross, I love the game, and I've loved it since I first played it in my friend's house. I thought it was such a great game. And then he brought it over to my house, and he kind of left it there by accident, and then and then it just kind of became mine. I have it in here, the box somewhere in my closet. But, actually, no, I had to repurchase it, because I didn't... The game, I think I still have the original from when he left it over, but the discs don't work, and so I had to rebuy it. So luckily I was able to find it on Amazon for like fucking $19. So, but yeah, let me know if you guys want to see it. I would love to play it again. It's just a great game, and people are like, oh, it's not, it's so bad, and Chrono Trigger is so much better. It's like, well, Chrono Trigger was on the Super Nintendo. It was a different style of game. You know, this one moved to 3D and kind of different. It's still a good game. It's still a masterpiece in my opinion. But anyways, yeah, censorship. People are apparently getting mad that Marcy doesn't have underwear on anymore, that they changed it to bloomers. Oh no, the 9-year-old's not wearing fucking panties anymore. Oh, you just don't understand. I understand with some of the purity of it and you know, the classic style, but some changes like that, you know, it is it game breaking? Is it changing the lore of the game? Is it you know, diluting the experience? No. They took a 9-year-old girl and changed it from her wearing panties to bloomers. Oh no. People, I can't imagine the people who are mad about this, and I can't believe I'm saying that people are mad about this. Who would be mad about it? Well, I know who would be mad about it. Um. Anyways, oh god. Just Juices Bouye. Anyways, that's gonna do it for me. Let me know if you want to see me play Chrono Cross, if I should play the PS1 version or just buy the, you know, the new remaster on Steam. Anyway, let me know. You know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.